Let's get a quick take on State Senator Mike Johnston throwing his hat into the ring for the 2018 Democratic gubernatorial primary. In what is sure to be a competitive race, Johnston is one of the first in possibly a long list of politicians said to be running. Pat Cahoon from Westward, what kind of advantage does Johnston get by announcing this early?
More headlines than when 6 people announce on the same day, and we could have that too. Mike Johnston's an interesting guy. We profiled him in our cover the week of the Democratic National Convention in 2008 when he was just this leading principal. Really smart guy, getting kids in school. He's done a good job too in the legislature, but he's going to have a lot of competition, and we'll just kind of see who rises.
David Cope with Independence Institute and DU Law School. Do you think there's going to be an advantage at the state capitol with how Senator Johnston goes about his business if he's always walking around as a gubernatorial primary candidate?
It might hurt him a little bit, but there's an advantage of getting out early and being known and perhaps clearing the field, at least within your own space in the party. He has a lot of advantages. First of all, as Patty said, he's been a school principal. That means he has an actual executive leadership experience. And sometimes people who have just been in legislatures and then become governors have a tough time learning how to do that at first. Second, he's widely respected by people in both parties as a serious person who's very well informed. And you might disagree with him on policies, but he's going to, on most of them, learn the facts and the figures and try to come to a thoughtful decision. And third, he's a leader in a tradition in Colorado that goes back to Governor Roy Romer of being very pro-public education, but also being pro-reform on that, on saying that just putting more money into the old system isn't enough. He wants more money, but he also has been in favor of improving the system.
Eric Sonderman, political analyst. Does an early announcement like this point to a particularly bruising primary?
It's going to be a bruising primary no matter when people announce. First of all, I have to take exception to the topic. I mean, we're sitting here on Inauguration Day, and
we'll definitely get to that.
I understand, but as we're formally wrapping up one election, we're going to start previewing one 2 years from now. I think our viewers, if we don't deserve a break, our viewers deserve a break. Truth be told, Mike Johnston is not the first person in this race. A businessman, civic leader, philanthropist, Noel Ginsburg, also a very credible person, announced back over the holidays. Mike Johnston is a very credible guy, very interesting guy. I like him a lot. He would be a very formidable candidate in November against any Republican. Johnston's biggest challenge, and he may well be able to overcome it, is going to be through a primary, because he has offended, as David said, by taking on some education issues. He's offended some core Democratic constituencies. This is going to be a wild primary. We don't know all the entrants yet. We won't for some time. Ken Salazar being the big variable. Is he going to get in or not? He would be a favorite, not a prohibitive favorite in my mind. You hear Ed Perlmutter, Kerry Kennedy, former state treasurer, is certainly looking at this race. I would expect her entry before long. And then you have the Bernie Sanders wing of the party, and whether that's Representative Joe Salazar or whoever, they will be heard from. There's a lot of talent and going to be a lot of noise.
Kristen Wyatt, AP reporter, rounds out the panel. What effect has this announcement had over at the Capitol?
Well, I'm going to save you here and say that the presidential inauguration has a lot to do with the governor's race. Not long ago, when people thought Hillary would be the nominee, or be the candidate, or be the president, usually midterm elections are very bad for the ruling party in Washington. I thought it was going to be a monster Republican primary for governor here, Walker Stapleton versus George Brockler versus maybe Wayne Williams. And there wasn't a lot of talk about what the Democrats would do, and now you're going to see like a lot of fireworks on the Democratic side. I think it's I don't know how it changes things at the Capitol. I think it's really a lot far off for folks. I will say that people at the Capitol, certainly in the press corps, I'll call Michael Johnston the blonde Jesus. He is an eloquent speaker, but can be, very flowery sometimes and a little sanctimonious. So I'm really curious to see. I don't understand the Democratic base here in the state well enough to know how much you need the teachers unions to win a Democratic primary here. How is everything going to shake out? So there's a lot of new stuff to talk about where this race is going.